Francesca, my son Matthew passed away 3 years ago. He left our family, including a younger brother, sister, and a future stepdad, way too soon. And although I was really excited about planning this big wedding and having all our friends around, I couldn't help but feel lots of sadness and guilt knowing that he wouldn't be a part of our special day. And then I got this amazing sign and a beautiful wedding present from Matthew that left no doubt that he was still around and would be a part of our special day.
Francesca, who you just heard from, is here. She says she's received many signs from her son, Matthew. So what kind of son was he?
He was very energetic. He was very outgoing. He was the life of the party. He just loved everyone, and everyone loved him.
So you lost him how long ago?
3 years ago.
3 years ago, which I'm sorry for that.
Thank you.
I know it's painful. The biological order is violated.
Yeah.
So you're driving along, and you believe you've seen a sign from your son, one of several that have apparently occurred.
Yes. So the first sign was about 5 weeks out. So I usually use Waze. We have a house out east, and I put Waze on to head back home into the city, and it was just taking me off the normal road. It stopped in a dead end.
Huh.
And then it shut off. And then when it shut off, I didn't know what direction we were pointing in, so I came out and I put the car navigating system on it, and then when I looked up, it said Matthews Lane.
Oh my goodness.
And it was kind of one of the first real signs that I knew that he was pretty much kind of, telling me, no, I am here. Because just before that, he used to wear a Star of David, and he had a tattoo of the Hamsa. Mm-hmm. And just before that, I saw somebody wearing that and I just kept seeing that all the time,
So I've got a picture of the road sign. If I can put it up for everyone to see. And it says there's Matthews Lane again.
Yeah.
So that sort of woke you up to the fact that he was sending you smaller signs like the tattoo imagery and others?
Yes.
Have they been getting louder and louder? Are you able to notice them more and more?
Yes, absolutely.
So, for example, I know that you're happily in a relationship.
Yeah.
You're thinking about getting married.
Yeah.
This was a few months ago.
Yes.
And there's awkwardness about that, right? Because you wanted him to be there.
Yes.
How did he communicate to you that it was okay?
So, we took a trip to Miami, and we got into our room about 6:45 a.m. And so I looked at Charles and I said, we have to go down and watch sunrise. And he kind of was the first, didn't really want to go, and then he said, okay, we'll go down. So we went down to the beach, and it was pretty deserted, and there was one gentleman kind of a little far off, just sitting there. The sun was kind of coming up. He walked over to us, and he was wearing a baseball cap, and it was kind of the first thing I noticed, because I actually had the same hat the man was wearing, which has the flag on it.
How strange.
Yeah, and I wear it because my son loved the flag. And I actually just wore it hiking the day before. So then he asked if I wanted our photo taken with the sunrise. And I said, sure. So he took a photo, he handed my phone back, and he reaches into his pocket and he hands me a flower. And he goes, this is for you. He looks straight in my eyes and he goes, this is for you. And I said, thank you. And he goes, my wife and I make these, and they're perfect for wedding bouquets. And I said, thank you. I don't tell him we're getting married. And he looks at me and he goes, my name is Matthew.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So I don't tell him about my son. But I said, oh, that's nice. My name is Francesca. This is Charles. We come here often. And he goes, well, I come here, every morning to watch the sunrise. He goes, maybe I'll see you again. And I said, maybe we will see each other again. And that was pretty much it. And then he looks at me and he says, do you know what my name means? And I was like, I think I remember, but I wasn't sure. So he's like, my name means a gift from God.
Oh.
So I said, I think I remember that. And then that was kind of it. And we walked away. And then my husband, my fiance at the time, was really blown away because I was still kind of shocked. And he kept saying, oh my God, that's a sign. You have to put this flower into your wedding bouquet. That was definitely Matthew. And
this is it? This is the actual flower?
This is the actual flower.
So it's okay. If you may ask Francesca's husband to join us for a second. So Charles, You say you were skeptical about all this, like a lot of people are. So what was going through your mind?
Well, I was, as you said, I was skeptical at first. I'm skeptical by nature, and we were literally the only two people on the beach besides this man. And when he approached, he sort of, I guess as a New Yorker, you can look at strangers a little bit, with a little bit of caution, but this man just had this light glowing in these light blue eyes, and you could almost see through them. It was just so clear, and he was just so peaceful. And when he handed the flower and said his name was Matthew and explained to us what it meant, I was completely blown away, just blown away. And it's not left me.
Are you rethinking your skeptical thoughts about signs? Which is, I think, an appropriate one. I feel the same way. I'm not sure about these signs, but I keep hearing these stories that there's just too much coincidence.
I am, but as Francesca described, that was one incident. There's been a bunch of others. There was the Matthews Lane and several others, and these are just uncanny and absolutely hard to explain.
Yeah, I don't even know how we would have this flower.
Actually, what's interesting about this story, because it kind of keeps going, I had a reading with Laura Lynn Jackson almost a year before, August 21st, 2018. And she's telling me that my son, she's like, oh, you're gonna be somewhere in 7 months, or you're gonna be away somewhere. He's telling me, she goes, well, this is what he's saying. In 7 months, he's sending you a gift for your wedding. I don't know what it is or how you're gonna get it, but you're going to get it.
Come on.
And then she goes, let's see, it's August, September, October, November. She goes, okay, end of March. Well, end of March I flew end of March to, Miami for, it was April 5th. It was
pretty close.
It was 7, yeah, well, it was 7 months. I mean,
let me ask medium Laura Lynn Jackson to come join us if you don't mind. She's here in the audience. So we've heard.
And it keeps getting better.
We've heard not just one, actually, there are at this point 4 or 5 events which just don't make sense if they're arbitrary. And I'm struggling as a physician to make sense of this as well. I just, this latest observation that you predicted she was going to get a wedding gift, which I don't think it's not logically possible. How do loved ones send signs so seemingly easily to people they care about from the other side?
It's pretty magical, isn't it? It's wondrous how they can do it. They can orchestrate all different things to happen. What I love about this story too is that Matthew kept it a surprise. He didn't tell us exactly what it was going to be, but he told you it was going to arrive to you. I think they have a way of orchestrating certain people to enter our paths. For example, the Matthew that came up to you on the beach. Yeah. That was absolutely Matthew on the other side, guiding that man into your path and inspiring him to give you that flower, which is really a gift from your son.
So what do you think Matthew wants Francesca to hear right now?
Oh, I think he wants you to know, and I think you do already know this, that he is there with you every second of the day. He's here with us right now. And you sharing the story of connection is inspiring others to see their own loved ones connecting in their own lives. So it's really this beautiful team of light you and he share to help others understand their own journeys, their own connections, that our loved ones are always with us. And I think it's pretty clear he was saying he was coming to the wedding,
yes,
and that he was going to be there for the happy moments too, and that he wants you to live a vibrant, joyful life of love and connection, and he celebrates that with you.
Absolutely, I believe it.
Thank you very much for
Thank
being with us.
you.
I hope that
Thank
eases
you.
your pain.
It does.
Thank you. Coming up, why my